is working with decorators to kind of show off our models now. If you notice the front of this corporate brochure, the keyhole is looking into the home, and they've sort of put that on top of a dock, and we're getting the idea here that we've drawn inspiration from the dock for hardwood floors inside the home. So we're drawing inspiration from different places and providing it to our homeowners. Along with that, we are building a new design studio. We will be relocating in Avalon, and the studio will be a little bit different, where we will walk buyers through and they will see, we call it the Hall of Inspiration. So they'll be looking to right and left, and they'll see different vignettes, maybe a kitchen decorated very modern, and maybe a bathroom along that modern theme. And as you move through, it goes to a more traditional design, and then we take them into where they can choose their own selections. So it's going to be absolutely phenomenal, and probably nothing like anything you've seen so far. So we're very excited about our new look and our new do at the design studio.
We may have to take a family field trip down for that.
You know what? That would be awesome.
Yeah.
I could work that out.
Yeah, that would be great.
I could do that. All right. The other thing that I want to talk about is the energy efficiency of Asheville Woods homes. And I know a lot of builders do talk about the energy efficiency of their homes, and thank goodness everybody is working a little more towards that. But we sort of kick it up a notch and take it to the next level. We subscribe to a program called Environments for Living. It's not our program, but we do subscribe to it and we commit to it. So each one of our homes are built more efficient, better air quality inside the home, better moisture control inside the home to prevent too much moisture and mold and that sort of thing. And each one of these homes are inspected to make sure that we're living up to what we're supposed to be doing. And you can Google that, Environments for Living, so that you don't have to take my word for it. Our brand on it is Powerhouse Green. That's what we call it. But if you Google Environments for Living, you can see the whole program there. It will be something that your buyers would appreciate very much after they move into the home. They'll have better air quality and they save money. So then moving on to my community. Now, I was going to have Summer Hanchy with me today. Summer is the sales neighborhood sales manager at the Paddocks, which is not far from here, and hopefully you'll get a chance to check that out. She may be stopping by later, we hope so, to drop off some brochures for you. She has 2 different products in that neighborhood, so it's going to cover a broad range of buyers for you. My neighborhood is out on Birmingham Highway in Milton. The Grove is probably the prettiest piece of land that I've ever seen, that I've had the pleasure of working in. And so I get out and walk the property from time to time. It has nice winding roads, very gentle topography, 1 acre home sites plus. It is in Milton, so we're on septic, so we're at least 1 acre there. Our prices are going to start at $679.9. And that includes, if you look on the front of the front elevations, that includes a single car detached garage in addition to the 2-car side entry garage. So it has a really nice look and feel, and we fit very well in rural Milton. We have that country farmhouse kind of feel. We also offer brick and stone, a little more traditional kind of look on the front as well. We finish basements. We have a few home sites that can do the side daylight basement. So everybody now seems to want to walk out their back door and be at ground level almost with their outdoor living space. So we're doing some of that. And we are going to be opening our decorated model there in mid-May. We'll be doing a grand opening event later on, probably towards the end of May. So watch your emails. I'm sure you'll get notification of that. And I think you'll be blown away, again, when you see our models. So does anybody have any questions for me? I don't want to take up too much time.
You know, I do want you to share one thing with them.
What's
Just
that?
share with them what you said to me when you first interviewed with Ashton Woods. Because
You know
she's
what?
obviously been in new home sales for a little while.
A little while. Yes. The culture of our organization is very important. I joined Ashton Woods almost 5 years ago, and it's a funny story. I'm going to tell you a little bit more. I was with another builder prior to that, and it wasn't really working out. The VP of sales where I was somebody near and dear to me, and I was struggling with the fact that I was going in that morning to tell him that I would be leaving. And he announced in the sales meeting that he was going to be leaving. And I was like, wow. And I said, I got to talk to you after the meeting. So upstairs in his office after the meeting, I said, I was coming in today to tell you that I was leaving. He said, really, where are you going? And I said, well, I'm looking really hard at Ashton Woods. And I said, and he just smiled and he said, that's where I'm going. And it's funny that we were both looking at this organization thinking, that's where we want to be. So the interview was set up with my division president, and one of the things that impressed me so much was that we spent 20 minutes on the word integrity, what it meant to him, and he wanted to make sure that I understood the word integrity. That was very, very important to me.
Somebody's singing for us later. Go ahead.
We have to dance.
No, I like singing and dancing.
That sounds great. Go ahead.
The little teapot thing works well. But anyway, yes, 20 minutes on the word integrity, very important to our organization. That's, I won't say it's one of the cornerstones, but it's because we actually have 4 cornerstones for the organization. But I now know the people at the corporate level from my past, as well as the people within the division. So good folks, good to work with. Your buyers will not be disappointed. So I hope to get to see you. Come out and see me at the Grove. Right now I'm in my little trailer across from the model. Give me about 3 weeks and I'm in the model, and like I said, I think you'll love it. All right. Are you going to draw, Robert?
Now I'm going to let you, but I'm going to try and pull the ones that got caught underneath the lip here.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and you know, there's a couple that I need to make sure.
Can I go to my party?
You may.
Yeah, sorry.
Why did you drop it? You did. Anybody else? Last call.
So I have 2 $50 gift certificates here. Anybody else that came in late?
You're just going to have to dig around. I got them all buried in there.
Oh, goodness. I'm going to lift the box.
Okay. Dig them out.
Okay, bam. First one is Bonnie. Congratulations, Bonnie. And the next one. Just one. Goes to Cheryl. Cheryl Cunningham.
Any questions?
Thank you so much. Any questions for me? Yeah. Who's coming to see me? Yay, all right. Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you for coming. Thank you for Okay, we got good stuff to talk about today, but one person I don't want to hold up, but I do want to recognize. So, Sandy, I need you to come up here. And I'm going to share a letter with you guys that I got from a COO of a company that we work with. So, and I know many of you know this, but here's one thing I'm going to tell you about Sandy. No detail goes unnoticed. She does do her homework, and once she's onto something, she doggedly pursues it. So, we've been suffering terribly. How are listings feeding correctly from Zillow to Trulia to goodness? Well, here's what I'm going to tell you. Here happens to be the little file that Sandy has documenting everything. And she has been wearing Lone Wolf out. Now here's the even more interesting. But here's what I really want y'all to understand. Probably for 30 days, she's constantly on it. Every single day with a spreadsheet documenting it. And Sandy and I found, and a lot of you know this, we've worked together for a little while. 30 plus years if you actually really do the math. So she started working with me when she was 9. I was 18. And what she's always done is a very thorough job. She doesn't holler uncle. So she sort of got boxed in a corner. So we've been pursuing this, and I'm going to share with you what happened. So I just want to say thank you. Because here's what really made things sort of interesting. Well, it was sort of Sandy against an organization. And, when you've got these big muckety-muck VPs going, well, that ticket's been resolved, that ticket's been resolved. Well, no. 99% of it was resolved. Here's the listing that isn't. 98% of it may be resolved. Here's the listing that isn't. So probably out of frustration, Sandy came to Terry and I. We ratcheted things up. And, I did something I've never done before. Lone Wolf's located in Canada. I found every board of directors, COO, CEO, chief financial officer. I sent them all a certified letter. Sent them last Monday, and I knew it would take about a week. Got an email last night I'm going to share with you. But we've been working. So I just wanted to say thank you. We don't take that kind of stuff lightly. We are going to get it resolved.
Or have something listing that's really hard for me to look at every listing, but I have physically looked at every listing. But if y'all ever see anything, please let me know. We'll find them.
Do they look like they're fitting right now?
Yes, as of this morning, everything is fed. All the photos are fed. If you've made a change on a photo, I wouldn't be able to tell you exactly where it is without physically looking at it. But as of right now, all 420 something listings are up and good.
You're awesome. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. All right, so let's talk about first quarter. We started off going, yikes. Then what happened in February? We all sat home with a blanket over our heads and the ice and the weather. Could we have had any worse weather? So, and I will tell you, and I think Terry had shared with you at the sales meeting, February was so bad on the whole eastern seaboard. Realogy was globally surveying brokers weekly. Where are you on contracts? Where are you on listings? Where are you on pendings? They were having a little bit of a, by the time you take that across 7 brands from Century 21 to Coldwell Banker to, Metro, Better Homes and Gardens, it was absolutely the entire eastern seaboard going, maybe the market hasn't recovered. Now, you know what I do find amazing? The sun comes out, and all of a sudden everybody goes, yeah, it's great! The market's fantastic! They're not doing surveys. They don't want to do a survey. It's great. Go sell homes. So, I don't know. It's just funny how people shift so quickly. So, the old adage that sales make everyone feel better, I think is really true. Would y'all agree with that?
Yes.
So, but March, that's pretty darn strong. So, thank y'all very much. There is no one anywhere close in our competitive area that had that strong of a month. So we appreciate it. And, Mr. Scanlon or Ms. Cook, I'll put y'all on the spot. Do you know how many pendings we had from Friday at 5 o'clock until Monday morning at 10?
Wow.
That was contracts for the week. There was some pending just from the weekend.
36.
21. Net 21. I'm sorry, we had 5 10Rs. So that's pretty darn strong. That's probably the strongest 2-day weekend we've had in a while. So, and then the rest trickled in yesterday. So I think the net's going to be somewhere close to 30. So,
Robert, is that closings or sales?
closings.
Okay.
So actual closings, not counting it till it's done. HUD is in hand. I don't even know how. Whoop, I wasn't supposed to go there. I'm going down. Well, that's the order we're going to go in. So let's talk about some first, because we got a couple people that have their first listing, because isn't that where the process starts? So, Tiffany, where'd you get your first listing?
It's coming. My grandmother's house.
You know what? Hey, that doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's true. So, but it's my first listing, and it's been a great learning experience so far.
Bingo. So what's it going to do? It's going to put your name out there. It's going to put you through the process. So, you know, everyone starts somewhere. So
It's been great, and I'm working now with 2 buyers showing them other things that started by looking.
there you go.
So it has gotten the ball rolling for me, and that's.
Amy?
Yes, first one, it's in Grayson, a friend of a coworker, and I had a couple of co-listings last month, and I helped my daughter close on a house last month, which was great.
Okay, you're not supposed to tell that yet. That's another first coming.
Oh,
Because it all starts with the listing, so congratulations. So then, who's got their first pending contracts? I don't think Jen is here, so Jenna Cummings and Jody. We didn't recognize you for first listing in, but you got your first pending with us. And I haven't been here the last few sales meetings. Have you guys been to a sales meeting? Okay. So congratulations on yours. Hunter Ramsey is a fellow that everyone met. Hunter. Used to be a RE/MAX broker, lives out in Canton. Bob Sims, not here. Tommy Smith. Congratulations. Well, who is that? Jarvis Arnold Thomas, please stand up. Yeah, show the shoes. Congratulations. Jeremy's not here. And Paul, and he's actually an assistant principal, so I'm assuming he's at school, quarantined and testing today. So let's give these guys a round of applause. So then, where we're all trying to get, Bonnie had her first closing with us yesterday. Congratulations. Amy had her first closing. And Cheryl Thompson, not here, had her first closing, and I believe she's got 3 pending, doesn't she? Okay, so now, oh, here we go. This is the email from Lone Wolf, and I'm just going to give you guys just a small portion of background. Really going back to March 6th, we had 53 listings that were not syndicating out. And I'm saying March 6th, when Sandy really went back and pulled every single listing, and we couldn't figure out the rhyme or reason. Some issues that started back on February 8th. So then you go, where are we today? Probably by last Friday, maybe 1 or 2 still misfiring. And I'll share with you what got us so frustrated is calling into Lone Wolf, you go into the support system. And one thing I want you guys to realize, what are we? Type A sales personalities. 99% of us. Would you agree? Now, who do you think we're talking to at Lone Wolf? Super smart people like Hiro. The IT, so, you know, we're a little bit of a mismatch to begin with. And all they kept responding is, yes, I'm online with the programmer. yes, we've looked. Yes, we've done that. And I'm like, okay. Wow. We're in the rabbit hole here. I'll go back to sort of how Terry wants things to happen. We're sort of thinking click, bam. You make the click and bam, listings are repaired. So we just kept ratcheting up. And I think probably the breaking point is when Terry and I got a conference call with them the last 2 Fridays. The first call was about, here's what we've done. We've set up a customer service concierge to help you with your problem. So, I'm listening and listening. I finally went, are you freaking kidding me? I don't want to talk to anyone. You don't want to talk to me. What we really want is listings repaired. Let's not communicate. I don't want to talk to you. And I promise, I'm very clear. Y'all don't ever want to talk to me again. So I don't care who that person is. I don't ever want to meet them, talk to them. I said, if I've got a relationship with them, we're done. So that sort of really escalated things. So then I got this email last night. And obviously the certified letters did land. And here's what we really realized. There's about 10 different departments. And truly, if y'all could see Sandy's log sheet where she bounced from individual to individual to individual to individual. So here's what we need from you. I want you to go back and look at your listings. Our obligation to you is, we want to hold you accountable for doing your very best for your clients. You all agree with that?
Yeah.
You know what our obligation is to you? That we're going to deliver on everything we say we provide to you. And if we don't, you need to let us know that. We sure don't want to discover it on the backside. And we're going to get it repaired. Is that reasonable?
Yeah.
So, frustrating? Goodness.
Can we see a lot of you guys?
Sure. It really wasn't that bad. But I'm like, hey, I don't want to keep talking to these people. I had talked to like 5 people. I think the craziest thing was maybe Easter weekend. Oh, yes, we're working on it. We're going to download it. Well, I'm glad they got to take Easter weekend off and everyone was closed on Friday. And we kept getting communications at 5:30, 6 o'clock. So you're going, and then trying to get hold of them on the phone. Well, guess what?
We're done.
Oh, they were hitting send and running out the door. So, yeah, I'll share everything with you. I'm not saying it's all pretty. But either way, so we're going to figure it out. So we apologize for any frustration. So what are y'all all going to do? Go look at your listings, make sure they're correct. I don't know which slide. Okay. So here's what I really want you to understand why this is so important. Why do brokers really push listings out to syndications? Don't look at the slides. Sarita's going to give you a hard copy if she hadn't already. But why do you think brokers want to do it?
Bring some leads.
Okay. Anybody else?
What's your name after this?
What's your name?
Brokers do it to make your sellers happy. That we want you coming back happy because the seller's happy. Has anyone had anybody give them grief over a listing, feeding up or not being correct, or my house looks better than that?
Square footage is wrong.
Yeah. So that's what motivates a broker. Actually, when I read this, I was going, that's a little bizarre. So then, because here becomes the confusion. What do agents want from syndicated listings? Why are you doing this?
More
Advertising.
Oh, you want to sell more homes, make more money? Yeah. The agent says, I want leads. It's not just about appeasing the seller. You're looking for the next one. So here's one thing we all have to do. We all got to figure out how we make it work together, that we satisfy the seller, we get you more leads. And, and I think if y'all go back and look on Trulia today, my guess is, it should be locked in your name, no other agent's name, because we're paying a fortune for you to have that benefit. My guess is 30% of you would go look on Trulia and you're going to see some other agent's name pop up. And I I'll give Lisa Oden credit. I thought I was going to poke my eyeballs out last week between she and Sandy. I don't even know what they were saying a couple times, but yeah. So, and and it all starts from MLS. Lone Wolf couldn't tell us. The rep at Trulia couldn't tell us. So, you know what? And I know we're not the only ones. And I'll even share this with you because here's what I asked Lone Wolf. And I will tell you, I think most of our glitches came from them doing software updates, and somehow the protocols sort of changed on how things populated out. Because they kept saying, well, you've had people changes. No. Let me think. Sarita's been here 14 years. Sandy's been here 9. Caroline's been here 8. No, I don't think so. Oh, well, you changed equipment. No. You moved offices. No. Your MLS changed. That's the one that probably lit Sandy on fire more than anything. By the time she got MLS on the phone and patched Brian Chu in from MLS and said, no one from Lone Wolf has contacted us since 2012. Yeah, pretty interesting. No feeds have changed. So anyway, but they're continually doing updates. And I think you're going to see more and more of that. Because here's what we went back and asked Lone Wolf. So if I ask you, who else in the Century 21 system is with you that has listening issues? Nothing. I'm like, hello? So I was like, okay, well, let's just break it down. Why don't you look in the Southeast? Here's the 4 brokers that I know use Lone Wolf that I reached out to, and are they having listening issues? 2 were, 2 weren't. But I'm like, So then I sent an email to the IT guy with Realogy overall that does all their, and I said, hey, has any of this come up? Well, that about sent those people at Lone Wolf into freaking orbit. But here's what I'm going to tell you. I think it's good. It's the same things happening with Trulia. Redfin's changing the way we operate and do business today. So more so than ever, you've got to follow your listings from beginning to end. Because you know what's going to happen. You might look at Realtor.com and Zillow and go, hey, yeah, everything looks great. Okay, I'm feeling good. FMLS is great. The pictures are awesome. But you know what's going to happen? Mr. Seller's going to go on Homes.com or some obscure site that their second cousin told them about, and they're going to find something. And then what do? They go nuts. Anybody been through that? You don't, it's painful. So we're going to do our best to sort of, because, I'm going to tell you, most listings, I don't think it's a paradox that we have more listings than any other office. Picture ratio, we have more pictures than any other office. Now that's what I screwed up on some stuff. Who solved the most times? Oh, we did. So it is related. So I want you guys, you owe it to yourself. Would you agree?
Yes.
All right. So let's talk about some good stuff. And I think this is goodness. Because it's been a long time coming. Anybody had any faxing, DID issues, any of that?
Yeah. No.
Okay, put your hands down and put them away. This young man is going to help us roll out a brand new phone system. And we're going to do it Memorial Day week. I think a lot of people will be gone. So it'll probably take them a couple days to upload. And I mean, we're going to go spit out the old, reload everything new. Isn't that right? Yep. New hardware. So I think you'll see some changes. I think you'll see some good stuff. And, hey, here's one thing we'll tell you about technology. It does get dated pretty quickly. So we're not tied to anything long term. We all want to be relevant, young, and fresh, just like high roads. So what do you need to do to get ready for that?
Pray.
Now, what's the most important thing? Now keep in mind we're going to go. Everything's gone.
Cell photos.
Be patient.
Sounds like.
Anyone got a big old bank of voice messages on your phone?
Yeah.
Couple people have over 100. So someone thinks they must need them. If you need them, save them, write that information down, it'll be gone. Is everybody clear on that? We're gonna keep ringing the fire bell on that one.
Are the numbers gonna change?
No, they are not.
Is that the fax number? The DRD? I mean, like, I'm being ignorant now.
We own them.
Okay.
You know those 678, 679 trunk of numbers? We own them. So, I mean, those are ours, they'll port over. One thing we are gonna do, anyone moving forward will have a separate DID and separate fax number. You know, I just want to tell you some of the stuff we've learned. I learned more about phones than I want to know. We found out a lot of reason why stuff was going to spam. You know, we did. Nothing worse than someone with a checkbook trying to buy our way out of agony. So we overbought a spam system. We overbought a fax system. Tried to increase speed. So, you know how when you're first calling in and it goes, hey, you've reached so-and-so? So the spam barracuda was going, what is it? There's 8-second delay. At second 9, it went to a fax. Some of your stuff's going to spam because it's going, what is that? I don't know what it is. Kick it out. So, you know what? I think we had enough firewall to shut down the Pentagon, about shut ourselves down. So you know what? We're going to go past all that. It's all over. Is it not? Should be. So,
Hyro, even my weird thing, you fixed, or is it still weird?
It's still weird, but it works.
Okay. You don't even want to know, Robert.
no, I will tell y'all one funny story. So we walk into this meeting. It's Terry and myself. We're very frustrated with Milner and with Mitel. So Terry said, fine, just get them in here. We're having a meeting. So all the hoop-de-doos show up. Well, about 30 seconds before, let's see, gosh, I'm sure you guys have seen Bob Tibbs with Milner. Yeah, guess who his son is? Oh, it was his roommate in college for 2 years.
That's fun.
Yeah, so I don't know why I turned pale. Everyone signed a moral turpitude clause and we moved along. That was pretty funny. He handled it very well. So, any questions about phones? You know, we will have probably 2 to 3 hours of dead time, probably on that Thursday. Hopefully we've got it set up so that on the 27th, 28th, they get everything programmed. We go live. I didn't dump the current provider until the following Tuesday. So surely to goodness, in a 4-day window, we can make the phone ring.
So will you have the old one still going, or are you going to unplug it?
At some point, you got to unplug. So we'll load everything up. And then by the time it takes, we'll probably have about 2
Is
hours.
that Memorial? That's the weekend of Memorial.
It's after.
The week after?
Yeah, Memorial Day is actually, I think, the 25th.
Okay.
Will we have the same fax number that we have? on the business
Nothing
card?
for you will change,
Okay.
other than how you retrieve messages. And, I think you'll see some new features. It will show up, if someone calls your DID, it'll show up like the true, like you're calling from an office, you can put yourself as a phantom phone. So you can do all kinds of neat stuff. So I think you'll see some good
What's
stuff.
the new system?
What is it? I don't know. I mean, who made it?
Right.
Mitel.
Oh, my God.
Mm-hmm. What is it?
It's Mitel.
Mitel 537G8. I don't know. It's whatever the latest and greatest. Yeah, unfortunately, most of those phone companies they're really selling packages. There's no one that works for them that does the technical. So we really had to partner up with the right company to get the technical training. All they would do is sell it and say more upgrades. Took a while to figure that out. All right, so any questions about phones, comments, emotional outbursts? Y'all are easy. Oh, I forgot the last one. This is the best part. So, last year, company picnic. walk off with this trophy.
That was last year.
Yeah. Team Shepherd absolutely trounced Team Swanson.
It was embarrassing.
Even after they added 20 bonus points that we added on, I still did.
Well, you know what? We're going to keep the scoring fair this year. So Mr. Swanson and I are going to mentor a new team captain. So I've got Skinny Scanlon, and Mr. Swanson has Debbie and her Dashlers. Now, how are we going to keep things fair? Mr. Swanson and I will unveil the new games for you the day of the picnic. We do have an official scorekeeper, and that'll be Sarita. And you know, we never know if things could end up into a overtime runoff between Rob and Deb. Because for those of y'all there last year, I got to tell you, there's one person that probably got the Trooper Award above everybody. Bingo and golf. For those of you, anybody gonna chase the bat?
Yeah,
you good. And have to spin the circle. Yeah, we about never got her a backup right. So she did it with a vengeance. So I think we'll have fun, but we're thinking about doing it the third or fourth week in June versus end of the summer when school starts. Is that acceptable? Anybody same place? Any requests on food?
I think we should have some.
Gluten-free.
Gluten-free. We do that.
Anything good.
Last
Last year was awful. Oh, you did?
Went out of business.
They ran out.
You know what? I knew they were going out of business because I was like, seriously?
It was horrible.
Yeah, we paid a fortune for that.
It was horrible.
Burgers
Not
or
much.
veggies?
Yeah.
What you got?
They just said it was horrible.
It wasn't good.
Always be welcome.
Well, you know what? Here's what I'll tell you. We were supposed to have homemade ice cream, banana pudding, and it was supposed to be like a gourmet burger bar. And I'm like, what happened? These are like frozen bubble burgers slapped on there with some ketchup. I'm like,
I think they're ready.
where's the banana pudding?
Yeah. Ingles.
Yeah. So anyway, all right. You got an announcement, Sarah Stuff, all about?
Have wine tickets for sale for Cause for Vets and Habitat for Humanity. It's going to be at the River Club Thursday a week. We need bodies. They're $40 a piece, and I have them in Denise. You can see Denise and I.
Tickets.
Yes.
Tomorrow from 9:30 to 12:30. I know it doesn't sound exciting, but we do have a CE class on being put on by Beach Movers. It's called Move It, The Educated Mover. The guy who's teaching it is actually a professional speaker. It's being videotaped. He assures me it's fun, engaging, and it's all about the psychology of the move that we have to handle. We need some more bodies. We've got about 10 people already registered. So if you haven't registered, shoot Rob or I, email the Rose, and let us know you're coming. 9:30 to 12:30. Free CE.
And then we have someone in the room that got an award last week. So I guess, Jeff, we'll let you do a mortgage update.
All right.
What time is it?
It's showtime. Thank you, Robert. He is right. I did get an award. Fidelity Bank was so gracious to fly the top 25 in the company down to Captiva Island in Florida. So we got to hang out for about 3 or 4 days off the coast there near Fort Myers. And I got to tell you, it was beautiful. I mean, the weather was perfect. Sit by the pool. My wife's like, why do you keep answering your phone? I said, because if I don't, they'll go away. You all know how the business is. So I actually worked through it, but had a great time. My boss obviously doesn't listen very well. We were all getting fitted for our jet ski jackets. And the guy's very specific. 4 miles an hour all the way out to the white buoys. That's the no way. Manatees in there. There's dolphins. You can see them hopping up in the water. All right, so I get going. I go first, and I'm about halfway to the wake, and I look behind me, and about 45 miles an hour, here comes Bob. Waving like, woo! Bob, he gets back in, and the guy's like, you almost got yourself a $400 fine and arrested, so it pays to listen when you go to these things, too. So anyways, I wouldn't be there. I wouldn't have made it if it weren't for all you guys in the room. So I really appreciate all the referrals. As I look around the room here, every single row I've at least closed at least one loan for one of you. So if not more. So I really appreciate
So
it.
lunch tomorrow for everybody?
That's right. That's right. We are the bank, so. Anyways, I do appreciate all the referrals, as does Kevin and Kim. Everybody in this room works hard for your business, and, you know, we go the extra mile because there's a little extra pressure on us to do it. So we do appreciate it. The rates, currently the feds will be meeting today and tomorrow, so depending on what they say, they're not expecting rates to move based on the policy meeting that's coming out tomorrow at 2. We've got Case Shiller numbers are expected to go up about 4.7%. Consumer confidence, it's going to be better this month than it was last month. The rates dropped because unemployment numbers were a little bit higher, so we're expecting that to be a little better. So rates are a little higher. We're at 3.5 on a 30-year fix. Now we're 3.625, so rates are still good. You know, FHA.
All you can say is good.
Great. 3.625 on a 30-year conventional, 30-year fixed. Under 3% on a 15-year, and FHA rates are still 3.25. And I can give them some juice towards the closing costs at that rate. So all around good. Can anyone in the room tell me what a payment on a 2015 Range Rover would be? Brand new, fully loaded.
Or,
$2,000 a month.
$575.
You guys are close. I heard 2,000 and 1,800. It was 1,700.
Hey.
Had a borrower go out and buy a new one in the middle of the loan.
I guess no loan for you.
It's right in the documents right there. You're going to be under credit monitoring. So good thing says,
So you got the loan anyway, right?
oh yeah, no problem. He just had to pay off his other 2 cars. So, but anyways, it threw the debt to income to 47%, and we had to be below 43 on a jumbo. So I'll be making a call today, figure out what they can pay off. So just wanted to give everybody a heads up. It happens. People.
Hey, Jeff, so let me ask you, closings that you're doing, how many sellers are paying closing costs or participating in a portion for the buyer?
75% of them. 3 out of every 4 is paying closing costs.
All of them?
Almost all, yeah, like almost all of them. Big numbers, $7,500, $5,000.
Yeah.
Um,
So are you guys having that talk ahead of time with your seller? Because you know what, that really frustrates some people. Yeah, happened with my own father-in-law. He was very angry about it. Like, what are you doing? It's about the net.
Yeah, they, especially the older sellers, they're like, nobody ever paid my closing costs.
Right. Oh, you know what? And we're in the room, and I'm still going to throw him under the bus. Jim Bullis said that to me yesterday, and I said, Jim, you know what you're doing? You're dating yourself, and the days of rolling it into the sales price, and you're wondering why you want to sell your lake home. So the guy rolling up in the $85,000 Audi SUV with that I deserve attitude, do you think he's got all that cash? Of course not. But I said, it's about the net. So quit making it emotional. And the way lending laws have changed, and the appraiser is going to appraise to the sales price. So don't let that be a surprise to your seller. So you need to understand it's the net, not whether it's cash here. You know what? They're not the moral police. They will not feel it when they're living in their new home.
and I mean, I can help if you give me a heads up and you have a buyer or a situation. Maybe, you know, 2 agents are co-oping in the office and need some help on closing costs. I can throw in 2,500, you know, $3,000, but just give me a heads up how you want me to structure it and we can make it work. Especially FHA, we have more profit in FHA than any other loan program to help with closing costs. So, I mean, it's becoming a big issue. A lot of people are just barely squeaking by with their down payments, so they need that help on closing costs. So you need to have those talks with them up front. And if I need to get involved, I'll be glad to help and see if we can, you know, work an arrangement so that we cover some of those costs as well up front. And I want to say thanks for Kevin. He stayed till 7 o'clock last night, closed a refinance for me. So kudos to you. But that's all I have. Anyone have any questions? The market, rates, programs? Congrats on all the new people. I see a lot of new faces though on the new pendings you got and the listings. It's great stuff. whether you're new to Century 21 or new to the business, let us know if there's anything we can do to help. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Attorney?
Well, I just wanted to say, hey, you know, it's actually, not to argue with Jeff's numbers there, but it's more like 95% closing costs being paid on the settlement segment. Might be even higher than that. It's rare when I don't see closing costs being paid by the seller. So have your, you know, set the expectations, like you said. Congrats to everyone who's got their first pending, first listings.
I want to say something about Kevin. First of all, thank you. Kevin closed a deal for me last week, and he won the extra mile. Was a quote from hell, pretty much. We had a lot of people there trying to interpret and saying what was going on, but we had problems with the other side of them coming to the table. He had to go to another closing in the loop. He delayed that closing, came back, helped me out, and then left. And have to come back again to do all the paperwork. So he really, and he was late 3 hours. I think it was about 3 hours, and he stayed with me, and he made it happen. So I can tell you, I can only thank Kevin so much. I've done a lot of deals with him, and he's always been a trooper for us, and he's done a good job for us. So whoever has a deal, other guy, he'll help you out.
Thank you. Okay, I want to say one thing. A couple of things, guys. With the volume of business and the things that are going on out there, there's a lot of new people in the business. And what I'm starting to see with their contracts and things, it's really starting to get sloppy in a couple of things. I want to bring a few things to your attention to be watching for, okay? The first, timelines, okay? Binding agreement dates or offer dates are expiring prior to the counteroffer being written or binding agreement date being met. That's an unenforceable contract, okay? So you've got to watch your time limits, or if that contract is challenged, your buyer or your seller are going to be harmed because that contract's not going to fly, okay? Just, it's happening. I've reviewed 70 contracts yesterday, and 25 of them had that percentage. Just, you know, the counteroffer came 2 days after the offer expired, with no language in the counteroffer saying that both parties agreed to proceed with the contract as written, even though the time limit had expired. Okay, so be real careful with that. Time limits on your financing with the volume of business with a lot of the lenders. What I'm seeing is finance contingencies going right up to the day, or we're making that time limit too short. You really need to be taking direction from the lender. Okay, if it's I'm seeing 20-day financing contingencies on FHA loans. Not going to happen. Okay? So you really need to be taking some direction from not just our lender, but the lenders in general. Okay?
What is good? What is the 20 days isn't good? What is it?
Yeah, give us some examples.
Typically, it's going to be on the FHA. You're looking at right around 30 days.
VA?
VAs. We do 21 to 25 on FHA just because we have our process in underwriting, closing all under one. I mean, we'd like to have 25.
It's, again, this is inland, but again, VA. Remember, you got to think you're dealing with a government entity. So VA, USDA, we're starting to see come back, and VA, we're seeing more of. You're looking 30 to 45 days. So if you're getting a contract that says 45 days on a finance for VA, it's not unheard of, okay? Because it's a government entity. All right.
So you know what? There's one little key word I like to see in those contingencies, and on that day. Business days. So then when you have Easter weekend, you lost 3, or Memorial Day weekend and you lost 3, you're not doing calendar count, you're truly doing business days.
One point to your USDA, I mean, they have a whole separate department. When we get it clear to close on our end, it goes in line for them and sits there for 2 to 3 weeks, does nothing. And it's in the order they're received that they'll review.
So again, I just want to bring some stuff to your point with these timelines, okay? Yes, we want to get them closed quickly, but we really need to make sure we're watching timelines, because I'm seeing extension after extension after extension, and it's all geared around mostly financing, okay?
Has anybody closed to VA recently?
Yeah.
Y'all know how many VA appraisers there are in Atlanta?
3.
Bingo. You know how many there were last year? Exactly. Yeah, I know Ruth Ann, that her husband's 73. She starts calling for him to come, and I'm like, then by the time I met him at the third home, I'm like, are you kidding me? You're a little long in the tooth for this, and where's your help? He was it. A 10-county area, he was 1 for VA.
They work at 2 speeds, slow and stop.
Yeah.
So I don't take up too much. Just make sure that you're getting with Debbie, myself, Robert, or Terry on some of these contracts when you're writing them with the time limits and stuff. So, okay, that's all I'm looking for.
I have a little bone to pick with some newer agents and not in this office, but if you make an appointment to show a property and decide not to go for whatever reason, please courtesy call either the seller or the agent to let them know that you are not showing.
Thank you.
People are going out of their house and this meeting for an hour or two and then you don't show up and then the listing agent's the ones getting coffee.
Well, now I'm glad you brought that up, because doesn't it feel good when other realtors work well with you and communicate with you? So what's the number one thing someone wants when they have an open house? Door. So you know what? There's nothing more beautiful than a flyer when it's all people within the family. I hope you will all go today. But you know what? Be courteous to your coworker. Pop them a short email on what you saw. Don't just tell them today, you know, because there's going to be some positive, some negative, but give them something that you'd want to hear to share with your seller. Is that reasonable? Because
Why don't we have forms there? You know?
Well, they just might.
Yeah.
But who knows? Maybe they won't. I don't know. We'll see what we see.
Do we have the directions to these houses?
Yes, follow Lewis.
I can't do that.
Okay, so anyone got anything else? Kim, you got anything for us?
He's in the order.
He's in driving order. Right.
Yes, I believe so.
Oh, you got a minute.
Got 1 minute. All right. I'm Kim Chapman. For those that don't know me, there's a lot of new people. How many of you have ever gotten an estimate from me in an email on a home for one of your buyers? Okay. Just want to make clear that that is an estimate and not a quote, because it gets confused a lot of times and gets sent to underwriting and factored into debt ratio and things like that before I've ever even had a conversation with the buyer. And that doesn't work out so well sometimes, especially.
So you're saying that rate could drop when it goes to underwriting?
It could be lower. That's correct. No, there's dozens of rating factors for the home, of which I know some of those when I do that estimate. But there's even more rating factors for the buyer, and I know none of those when I do the estimate. So until I have a conversation with the buyer, get their information, get their score, get their claim history, their insurance history, there's so many factors that go into that rate, and then the rate changes. And it could be lower, but it could be higher. It could be a good bit higher. So just be sure that the best thing to do, that's just a conversation starter with the buyer to get them to contact me or me to contact them and get them a real quote. Okay? On an average month, what would you say percentage-wise you're able to either match or beat someone else's deal?
100% of the time on coverage, and that's my number one goal, is to give them better coverage. On rate, 60-70% of the time probably.
That's good.
All right, thanks. Anyone got anything else? All right, so let's close with this. Stand up, young man. You know, I got to tell you, do you know what has made life so pleasant for Mr. Swanson and I the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks? Really? You know how many calls I've gotten about IT?
Zero.
Do you know how little Mr. Swanson's had to deal with me being frustrated with that? Zero. Long time coming, but boy, are we glad to have him. So if you've not made an appointment with him, you know what? Very smart, very organized. We don't, yeah, and you know what I shared with him? Here's your number one report card. They'll never tell me good, but boy, I do ever hear the bad from an agent. Your report card is, my phone needs to be silent. Guess how many calls I've gotten? Zero. We appreciate you. All right. Let's go to some open houses.
Is this the order that we're supposed to?
I believe so. It's still Brian, it's still
No,
us.
you didn't know.
Oh, it is not?